Yes, I listened. Yeah, I listened to your video, so I really had a hearty laugh at
Which
that
one?
about the appreciating the wife. That was what I got delayed in logging in because 6:51 I opened and then I said there's 10 minutes more to go, so I looked at that video. Okay, now let's start. Jai Gajanan, Ganeshaya Namastubhyam, Herambaya Ekadantine, Swanandavasine Tubhyam, Brahmanaspataye Namaha. So yesterday we were looking at Bharata. He was in the form of a deer, and in that form, he had a rebirth as a deer, and he wandered around various ashrams in the forest and landed at Pulaha's ashram, and there he overheard the conversation between Brahma and Pulaha, and he had the vision of Ganesha himself and Ganesha's blessings to Pulaha. So in that way, he also got the Ganesha knowledge, and he prayed to Ganesha, and in contemplating on Ganesha and worshipping Ganesha, listening to stories of Ganesha by the narration or reading of the Mudgal Puran, he passed away. And Bharata was reborn as the son of Angiras, Rishi Angiras. Angiras Muni is, if you might remember, even Mudgalacharya was born to Angiras Rishi. So Angiras, he was born to Angiras. Now from the beginning only, he was like, see, he was a realized person. He had done a lot of penance, and then due to some attachment to that deer, he was born as a deer, and then again he got blessings from and teachings and knowledge and everything. So he had that knowledge even when he was born. He was born with a knowledge of the self and the higher spiritual values and everything. So in the beginning only, he was very cautious. Now see, when as they say, if you once you burn your tongue with the by sipping at hot tea, poop, poop, you drink after that. So like that, he was so cautious. He decided that he will not get into this mess of the enchantments of the world. All kinds of things he'll try to avoid. So even in the beginning, as he grew up also, even though he had full knowledge, he behaved very childishly. So even his Angiras, naturally Rishi, he initiated him into the thread ceremony. He taught him the Vedas, scriptures and Shastras and everything. But he continued to behave very childishly so that the parents may think he's a fool and they will not get him married. Okay, so that was his intention. So he never felt he behaved childishly all the time, and he would while performing the Sandhya Vandanam and all. Instead of putting from the left hand to the right hand, he would do the opposite, and means that kind of messy things he would do, like not do anything properly. So then his parents will think, "Arey, this fellow is not even grown up. So what is he going to do after getting married?" So in that way, he behaved like a dull-witted person. As I had told you earlier, Dattatreya also, if he wanted to keep people away, he did all kinds of mad things. He behaved like a madman. So to keep people away. Similarly, this Bharata also, he behaved very as a dull-witted, foolish, stupid person. So they called him Jada. Jada Bharata. That is how he got his name, Jada Bharata. And he, uh, um, all his friends, people around him, neighbors, all called him Jada only, Jada Bharata, dull-witted person. So then some people would show pity on him. Some people would, that way give him concessions. Okay, Jane do, like that kind of a thing. Then in due course, Angiras Muni passed away. He attained samadhi. And in those days, because of the practice of sati, his wife also did sati. That is, she immolated herself in the funeral pyre of her husband. So now what happened was, as a result, this Jada Bharata was left at the mercy of his stepmother. That stepmother had 9 children. So they all ill treated him. And he was like, because he was Jada, that is dull witted, he didn't bother about how they treated him. He took it in stride. And as a yogi, one of the practices of a yogi is do the karmas and never expect anything in return. And also believe that whatever karmas you have to undergo, you will have to undergo. And even if somebody ill treats him, it is considered as one of the karmas. Means that is, you have to accept it. You should not avoid it. Means as a yogi, even if you have nothing to eat, nothing to wear, means you remain like that. Means you accept that fate as a fate or as a destiny. So because of that, whatever ill treatment, he said, okay, this is my prarabdha. It's called prarabdha. Okay, if you have heard of this word in Sanskrit, it is called prarabdha. Prarabdha karmas. There are some karmas which we are required to do or face because of prarabdha. That is previous lives or uh, carry forward. You know what is carried forward, so that you have to bhogna padta hai. You have to undergo all that. So they sometimes they would give him stale food to eat. They never bothered to treat him politely. They would give him all kinds of work, sweep the floor, wash the vessels, and anything. And he would do all of that without uttering a word. Sometimes his sisters-in-law would give such food just once a day. The yogi would survive on such a meal for 2 3 days at a stretch without a grudge. Sometimes they would give him stale food. He would give they gave him all kinds of chores to work. Means go get this thing, go get that thing. One day, his brothers, his they had put him in charge of the field. They had a field where the crops were growing, and they were made him put him as a guard. They have a crow, that crow kind of a thing. They have a piece of cloth. I mean, bamboo is yeah, like a scarecrow. So means that kind, but this he was physically made to sit there like a scarecrow and drive away all the crows and other things that comes to harm these crops. So one day he was sitting like that in the field. Then some robbers, they came that side and they found the stupid fellow. They said, "Arey, he seems to be very dull. He's not bothered." And then, so that day, that the gang of thieves who were there, they were actually looking out for a person for sacrifice to their devi. These thieves, they are some of the in those days they were tribal people. Generally they used to live on by thieving only, by robbing people, robbing crops, robbing fruits and thumbs from this and all. So that they were supposed to do a sacrifice to their goddess, and so they were looking out for a person. And here he was sitting idly here, and so they took him. And then they took him and nicely gave him a bath and gave him good things to eat, delicious food and all. Now he was to be sacrificed. Okay, so they dressed him up well, and he didn't bother. He said, "Okay, this is my fate. Accept it." Like he never, he was that kind of jada, totally jada. Like he didn't bother what was going to happen to him. If that is to happen, fine. So then they performed. Then these robbers, the evening, at first, they performed the puja of the goddess. Then they performed the puja of Mahakali. Then they placed the Muni on that altar, and the chief of the robbers advanced to kill him with a bare sword in hand. The yogi looked at him. Though death of his physical body was very close by, he was not distressed. He contemplated on Ganesha in his heart. O Gajanana, let the body die today, or may it live long. Is it my fault that I am to die today? My obeisance to you. Goddess Mahakali was enraged. So if you're going to give a human sacrifice to Mahakali, she becomes present in that idol. Even if it's a stone idol, she is alive. That energy is drawn to that idol. Then only they can even perform human or even animal sacrifice. Means those that time it is a living presence of the goddess in that idol. Whenever these such in such places, it's a living presence. That is why even when Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he was able to have sakshatkar of the goddess Kali, because in these places animal sacrifices were given, blood was given. Even now, even today, if not blood, they give at least wine. They give, drinks, alcohol to drink for the Devi and all. Believing that means almost equivalent to blood. So, he was, but he prayed, but he prayed to Ganesha. Now, Devi also, Mahakali, an aspect of Parvati or this, she also prays to Ganesha. Ganesha is a family deity of Shiva Parvati. So when she found that this devotee is praying to Ganesha, she was enraged. She manifested in the physical form, took out her sword and killed all these thieves. And and she drank their blood. And so in that way, Jada Bharata escaped. He bowed to the Devi, took her blessings, and left. Then he lived on whatever foods he got by begging. And like that, one day he was wandering. Means he was wandering. He didn't go back to his home. He wandered by begging wherever he could. In that kingdom, there was a Rahu Gana. That is a king's name. That's in the Sindhu province. There was one king called Rahu Gana. Now that Rahu Gana, he was walking past that way in his palanquin to meet Kapil Muni. Kapil Muni's ashram was in that Sindhu province. He was going to Kapil Muni's ashram, and and actually being a king in those days, they used to carry the palanquin, and by 6 or 4 people. Then one of those people was getting tired, so they were looking out for a replacement, someone to carry the palanquin to give a shoulder for for some distance, so that this fellow, one of them, could take rest. And they found this Jada Bharata. And they told him, come on. They picked him up and then they told, come on now, lend us a helping hand in carrying the palanquin. Okay, he said, and he carried this. But this Muni, imagine, he's a yogi, he's a Muni, and he observed all kinds of austerities. Although he accepted all fate for himself, still he saw that he will not harm a single insect. Okay, he wouldn't harm a single living creature on even on the ground. So if he saw any ants moving, he would slip aside, go aside, and move, give way to the ant. Means go past it, like on the by the side. So like that, now he was carrying the palanquin, and he saw these ants and other insects, and he was going on avoiding all these insects. So he was moving zigzag, zigzag. Now these other three people carrying the palanquin, this one man pulling the palanquin this side, that side. So it was getting shaking. King was angry. He said, "What is happening? You people, what happened? Are you all tired or what? What is wrong with you?" Then they complained. See, this man, we just took him as a help, and see, this is what he's doing. He's he seems to be mad. He's He's not. He looks like a drunkard. He's walking like a drunkard as moving zigzag, zigzag. So the king got down from the palanquin and he said, "How dare you walk like a drunkard in my presence? Do you not realize that this has slowed down my journey?" So Jadavarata realized that the king was rushing the bearers and treating them disrespectfully, as he was in a hurry to meet Kapil Muni. So when he felt that, oh, so now he was shouting because he was getting delayed to meet Kapil Muni. Now he knew that they are going on the way to Kapil Muni's ashram. So Kapil Muni he regarded Kapil Muni with great regards. I mean, he looked at Kapil Muni with great regards, being a yogi himself. So he felt, oh, so this king is deserving of some knowledge. So he started giving him knowledge. He started telling, this world is of Maya and is illusory, it is unreal. Everything what you see as existing is non-existing. And that is the cause of a confusion. How will a king be able to recognize a person's true nature? How can a person recognize a true nature? Means now, see, he called him a drunkard. The king called him a drunkard. How? So he gives him the knowledge. This whole thing is Maya. What is appearing is deceptive. What is appearing is not real at all. How can a king know what is ordinary man is going through? How can I how can I abandon the path of yoga for the imagined fear of the king? See, my path of yoga is preventing me from harming a creature. So I'm moving side, means zigzag, whatever. I'm trying to avoid stepping my foot on the creature, on that ant or on that insect. And so I am going by the side. Now, how will a king understand this plight of a yogi? You know, he's not he's he's not understanding what is reality and what is Maya. That is the problem with the king. So he's giving him this knowledge. How can I become subservient to you? How can I walk just to keep you in balance? I mean, you comfortable. I have to, I'm a yogi. I have to, my responsibility is bigger. My responsibility is to not cause harm to any creature in this world. So why should I bother about you? Your fear is irrational. Your fear is illusory, imaginary fear. How can I become subservient to you? You speak out of ignorance. You're speaking out of ignorance that I'm a drunkard, but you don't know why I am doing like that. Then he started singing like that. And then he started singing bhajans. He said this to himself loudly, hoping the king would hear. And then he started singing his own bhajans. So then the king started thinking, Are, there's looks something very um, um, uh, something missing. I mean, something which I'm not able to understand. Something intriguing about what is this fellow saying. He seems to be talking in riddles, but there is some meaning in it. There seems to be some deeper meaning in it. So when the king heard these words and all, and this great knowledge of it, he got frightened actually, and he again got down from the palanquin. And then he saw this filthy Brahmin, clad in rags, wearing a sacred thread, that is the Pavita. His face was shining, and the dutiful and this noble king, Rahu Gana, immediately felt that something he had mistaken this fellow. So he did a Sashtang Namaskar and he said, Oh merciful Brahmin, please forgive me. I don't know who you are. I seem to have committed an offense. Please tell me what offense that I have done. What is the offense that I have done? What is the offense that I have done? Yes. I just saw that message right now. So, what offense that I have done? You appear to be an avaduta. You seem to have renounced all worldly attachments, and naturally you are wandering like a Mahatma. I have done some mistake in recognizing you. Who are you? Are you Kapila? Are you Narada? Are you Pulaha? Are you Angira? Are you Kritu or Datta? Or are you Yajnavalkya? So he is naming all the saints whom he knew, the great munis and rishis of those times. Sometimes those munis had the power of taking forms, assuming a form. And so he was worried now. Oh, eminent Brahmin, I'm afraid of having been disrespectful to a Brahmin, because and Brahmins could curse in those days, and what they cursed means it used to be powerful, it used to work, it used to happen, and even gods could not reverse those curses. They themselves could not reverse once they are pronounced. So it's very dangerous. So because it is Satya Yuga. In those Satya Yugas, words were truth. What you spoke became truth. So who are you? A Brahmin is like an image of the Lord. A Brahmin is a bearer of all karmas, all knowledge and mantras. So he's saying when the gods listen to a Brahmin chanting the mantra, they receive their share of oblations as food. When Brahmins chant mantras, why do we say that you get the puja? Even any other caste, we tell get the work done through a Brahmin. And that too not a simple Brahmin, Brahmin who's initiated, who has taken Diksha. A Diksha Brahmin, if he chants those mantras, directly it goes to God because they receive through that sound vibrations, they receive that is the food of the gods. It has been said that Brahmins exist to uplift mankind. The Devas are subservient to mantras. Karmas that are bereft of mantras are devoid of benefits. When yajna karmas are done, we have to chant those particular mantras. Thus, a Brahmin is a very foundation of this world. One who is engaged in karmas, is diligent in penance, is wise, is an eminent Brahmin and a yogi. They are redeemers of the world. Now, here we all think Brahmins in today's modern world, Brahmins are considered as a class or a caste, a people who are born as a Brahmin, and so they need to be treated in a particular way with fear, with respect, and or with kind of a mostly by fear of what they might say, what because in those days Brahmins were considered very powerful because they were all the time in that penance kind of lifestyle. They chanted mantras, and so their words were very powerful. Now, here you must remember Brahmin, and with the yuga, as the yuga passes from Satya Yuga to Krita Yuga, to Treta Yuga to Dwapar Yuga to Kali Yuga, the power of accessibility to knowledge or intellect diminishes. It becomes 50%, it reduces to 75% in Treta Yuga, to 50% in Dwapara Yuga, to 25% in Kali Yuga. We had seen this already. It might be even lesser in Kali Yuga as Kali Yuga progresses. So, with the result, the power of words reduces. The power of words, which was in Satya Yuga, is not what is in Treta Yuga. In Treta Yuga, Yajna karmas were more powerful. Mantras chanted or oblations, offerings in Yajna karmas were more powerful. In Dwapara Yuga, Nama Samarpa, Dwapara Yuga, karmas were more powerful. What karma you did? Karma? Karma in all this, it is powerful, but which had more effect or more predominance. Okay. In Kali Yuga, Nama Sankirtan, chanting the name of God is more powerful in Kali Yuga. Okay. So anyone who chants the name of God or any particular mantra several lakhs of time has more power in Kali Yuga. That is why all saints, munis, they say do Namasakir. Even Alandi, if you go in Santanyaneshwar, Hare Krishna, what?
Vithala, Vithala.
Vithala Vithala or Ramakrishna Hari, Sri Ramakrishna Hari, Ramakrishna Hari, Govinda, Govinda, whatever. Even Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, ISKCON, they say Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. So this, now in those days they said, they used to say Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But ISKCON says Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. So whatever you say, the names, the Nama Japa is more powerful in Kali Yuga. And that Nama can have the power to even attract that God, what you say. That is why we are careful in naming of our children, our people, we are very careful in naming also what name, because
Very good.
yeah, what we generally, whoever is our child, we call that name only. That comes first in our mouth We don't even think of God. So if you put God's name as a child's name, then naturally when we call, at least by that, by the sound, God will come. That's a belief. So um, it is what was meant to, it was meant to stress the importance of Nama Japa in Kali Yuga. Okay, so the words, the power of words. What I was coming to say was, so then, how effective are words of Brahmins? Brahmins means not necessarily only of the Brahmin caste which was there in Satya Yuga. Even Brahmins are there in Kshatriyas, even Kshatriya are allowed to take initiation. They are allowed to put the go through the thread ceremony. Kshatriyas, Vaishyas. Only Shudras are not allowed. Shudras can chant Nama Japa. Nama Japa they can do, but the other communities, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas also, they can undergo thread ceremony and do the yajna karmas. After, and then there are methods of getting initiated. Diksha ceremonies are there. So various kinds of dikshas are there. Some details of the diksha ceremonies is given in my book Ganesh Gita. In the Ganesh Gita commentary, there is a chapter entirely on the various process of dikshas. Samaya diksha, mantra diksha, and other dikshas are there. In some dikshas, they burn the, I mean, they heat the iron emblem and they will impress upon your body as a diksha, part of a diksha, that you are a dikshit person. So these are all certain processes of diksha. So the various dikshas are there. So those who are initiated like that and they get that power, then those mantras have powers. Like there was there's a story on of what we Diksha, how Ramanuja got his Diksha. Also, Diksha was and how he, because of that Diksha, he was able to converse with the Mahavishnu statue at this Trichy, that Ranganathananda Swami, Ranganatha Swami, he was able to converse actually, talk to the this. mm, Okay, so this is, so the Brahmins' words are powerful. They can actually communicate with the divine. So he's going on praising the this. I just wanted to while in today's days the Brahmin is conned actually, but he is praising. A Brahmin is the guru who imparts knowledge to all. A Brahmin is truly Brahma, because the real Brahmin means a Brahmin who truly is wants to practice as a Brahmin is one who walks the path to Brahma. There, that is why he is called a Brahmin. Anyone who walks on the path to Brahma for attaining Brahma, that is liberating himself from this world, is a Brahmin. So, not necessarily one who is born as a Brahmin. When one condemns a Brahmin, it is like offending Shiva and other gods. So, one is blessed with all things by serving a Brahmin. When the gods like Vishnu and other devas have fallen into disrepute, it is because of a Brahmin's curse that they were compelled. Whenever even gods, when the Brahmin cursed, that is why they had fallen into disrepute. If Vishnu had to take a birth as a human being, go, then it was because of a Brahmin's curse. Hence, O eminent Brahmin, O intellectual one, I am afraid. I'm afraid of Vishnu, Shiva, and everybody. So please forgive me if I have done some error in this, in my approach to you or in my behavior towards you. So in this way, he prays to this Brahmin. What happens after that, we will see tomorrow. This ends the chapter 20 of the second part of Mutkal Puran. In fact, before we begin the meditation. Just I would like to share that this Jada Bharata was so powerful that he is even present today in Morgaon. There is a place of Jada Bharata away from the Morgaon temple. Morgaon temple um, is in the middle of the village. A little away means you have to go by another road and outside into the village, a little far away, maybe about 5 to 7 kilometers. I'm not sure exactly. If when you go there, there is a Jadabartha temple, and there are 5 foot means footprints means there are 5 stones. They're said to be the footprints of Brahma, Vishnu, Shakti, and Surya. And Jada who is meditating in a cave under that, in that temple, in that place. It's a very isolated kind of a place. There is not a very big temple, but there is a structure. Means the land is leveled, tiled, and there is a central place where these stones, these footprints are there, and where Ganesha is said to have manifested for him. And Jadabharata used to sit at this place, and from here he used to worship Ganesha at Morgaon, the idol at Morgaon. So, means at the main idol, Moreshwar. And here I have been to this place, and it is believed, not only believed, that you can connect to the deity from that Jadabharata's place of the Jadabharata to the deity at the temple. And I had put my ears to the floor. Means you have to put your ears on the ground and act at one particular place, and you can hear. I did hear. What did I hear? I heard the chanting was in the temple from this place. You can hear. You may hear Om Jai Gajanan Moria, whatever this is going on. You can hear from this place. Similarly, even in Titwala, there is a pipe. This was in my school days. I don't know whether it still is working. I've not been there for decades now. But when you used to put the ears to that temple at Titwala, put your ears to the tap. One tap is there. You can hear Alandi, this bhajans. The bhajans of Vithala Vithala, you can hear it there in that temple at Titwala. So, like this, where there is a connection between a devotee and the deity, there is a communication link. And if it is preserved by faith, belief, and without any destruction, and uh, keeping it alive, means mostly how anything is kept alive by keeping a lamp. A lamp is kept burning 24 hours all the time. So many, there are certain, like how in Shirdi, they have kept that dhuni burning even till now. Right from Shirdi Sai Baba, you had burnt that dhuni, a fire where ashes, from that ashes we used to give to the devotees, and the devotees used to be cured of malaria or whatever diseases. They used to believe that ashes. So like that, there is a belief, and if it is kept burning and alive, it still works. Okay, come, let's meditate. Bring all your attention to yourself. Take a nice deep breath and follow it all the way into your body. See that your spine is erect, your feet is firmly planted on the floor. Turn your vision inwards. When you look within, it's not the body that you see or the physical organs. What is it that you see? You have an inner vision of the working of your mind. And just as it often happens, when you look at something, particularly your mind, it stops thinking. Just like when you look at a child doing some mischief, it stops doing that mischief. So when you look at your mind, it becomes still. Then where does that vision take you? It takes you to a space where you seem to know everything. There are no questions there, but you can ask questions. It's like a memory bank. You can access it by putting your attention there, attention into space within. It has no particular place. It's a space of pure knowing. It just knows. It is a library having energetic impressions of all the knowledge they've gathered, of all the experiences, good and bad. You have access to it consciously. You can swim through it. You can wade through it. You can pause and pick on a particular chapter from your life. You can probe into complex problems, issues, or confusions and find a fresh perspective every time. It's just like your chat GPT. You give a set of powerful prompts and it comes up with a 500-word essay, freshly worded every time. Out of all that has been fed into the system, get a fresh perspective. But how is the human perspective different from a program like ChatGPT? They say AI will take over. Then will the human beings be redundant? That is what man aims at. That's what the computer engineers are working towards, creating an intelligence that can create like a human being. Will it happen? Should we allow it to happen? Do we want to live as human beings? Do we want this human species to exist or not? What is the purpose of creating an intelligence that can create like a human being? Then what will we do as human beings? Perhaps the dreams of the likes of Elon Musk is to create a world for us on Mars. Because AI will take over the earth. Do we even want to project such a thing into consciousness? We have a beautiful earth with the right amount of atmosphere, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, that can form into water particles, that has the right temperature to sustain us, that has a right mix of all elements, the intelligence to communicate, the food, the vegetation, the fruits, the animals, the mountains that stand tall, that stand grounded, as though formidable in front of human beings, firm in its resolve, Let's use the tools which is already created by the Creator for us when we came into this world naked, nothing to sustain us. It's this world that took care of us. Let us evolve as human beings, increasing our ability instead of a parallel world. That's a disease. Parallel worlds were never sustainable. Even in the past Puranas, we have stories of how the Daityas tried to create a parallel world. Even gods, like Krishna, created a parallel world, the Govardhanagiri. When he held up the mountain of Govardhana, still the people thought it was real world. It was a parallel world. But it's unsustainable. It's momentary. It's temporary. Let us not delude ourselves from the Creator's plans. This creation had gods, had daityas, danavas, or rakshasas, human beings, and many hybrid beings. But they're all creation which had a definite death. That is, everything that's born dies. It has a lifespan. Let us remain within the laws of creation, within the laws of the universe, however much we might develop in our wisdom, remain, observe restraint, the final step in yoga. On the path of yoga, in the Ashtanga Yoga sadhana, the final restraint is the restraint of the restraining tendencies itself. It's then that we can have the divine experience while still in the human body. Recognize your potential and be all of it and bow down in reverence. Slowly bring your attention to your breathing. Feel fully present in your physical body. In this process of meditation, we can go from the physical body to the Manomaya Kosha, the Jnanamaya Kosha, to the Vijnanamaya Kosha, and finally rest in the Anandamaya Kosha. All the sheets, the layers in this human body, which are intertwining into each other. Take a nice deep breath. Wriggle your fingers and toes. Rub your hands together. Cup your palms and place it on your thighs. Slowly rub your eyes and face. And when you're ready, open your eyes.